All right, we're back for episode 63 of the Idiot Circle. I'm Mike.
I'm Fred.
I'm Tim.
I'm not
And here's-
bizarre, but I'm bizarre.
Yeah.
He's FZ3RQT.
Yes.
Yes. Bless you.
Rock.
He must have been watching Star Wars or something.
Maybe.
That's your name spelled in Arabic, Sanskrit. That's funny.
Nice.
Well, folks, just to let you know, Rob would have been on the show, but his son is in the hospital. He is fine. I sent him a message and told him fat bastard said hello, and he laughed, and he sent a picture of him smiling with his thumbs up. So thumb up. So he's
Good.
doing okay. He's doing all right. And then I was in the hospital again. I had the leg problems again.
You did?
Yeah, I went in Friday or Thursday night and was there all day Friday, and I got out late Saturday. I don't know, dude. It's very frustrating, but I'm doing better. They drained a little fluid off the knee and then put me on some meds, and I'm able to move around much better. But the better news is I started my new job at Walsh College this past week. And let's just say it's the people are awesome, but that drive to either get there or to get home has been a mother, so to speak.
Welcome to my
One of the Tuesday, 2 hours and 45 minutes to get home.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, right.
That great,
Ten-
that great
yeah,
government all those roads at the same time.
10-minute like storm came through, trees everywhere, stoplights out. There was nowhere I could go to make it easier to get home. It was just a shit show. But the first day, my first day, I'm supposed to be there at 9. I left at 7:05 from here. And at 7:15, I hit the traffic just after a St. Clair Highway exit. And I didn't get to 26 Mile Road till 9:15.
Yeah, that was a day. It was a bad accident.
Oof.
So needless to say, my boss was my new boss was laughing at me. She's like, "Don't worry about it. Just get here safe." She goes, "I know it's just a shit show out there right now. Just get here safe." She goes, "We're just excited to meet you and get you in here and get things rolling." So they were really cool about it. But the good news is they pulled me off to the side at the before the end of the week and said they would like to have a presence at SC4. So I might be working at least 3 days at Port Huron campus here.
There you go. Sweet.
And then not have to drive all the way to Troy every day. The drive to Troy is not that bad. It's really not if just the roads were okay, but like I said, the guys and the girls and the guys there are real cool. They're all new. Well, three of my coworkers are from Baker College when I was there. So it was so we had a lot to talk about and stuff like that. But we got some youngins in there, and we got some older veterans, and the girl that's running it, Abby, is she's really cool. A college athlete, so she and I hit it off talking about our time playing sports in college and stuff like that. But she's really good to work for, and everybody will run through a brick wall for her. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting to see how things go. But man, it'd be nice to only have to drive 10 minutes to work compared to an hour there, and then an hour 20 plus coming home. So that's kind of my little tidbit of the day. Thanks, Mike, for that look on your face. I'm like, just let it out, dude. Just let it out. Don't hold it in, man. That probably hurts. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. But hey, How about
Tim
those
was
red-
working. Tim was working today, weren't you, Tim?
Yep, worked yesterday and today.
Ugh,
Oh God.
fuck. What's that all about?
Got
Yeah.
home. Well, we're working that Ford Rouge, and they got to do some things, pull wire and do some things off production. So we get Sunday to do it. So that was it.
Well, thanks. Yeah. Did you ever tell your boss, oh, hey, didn't you know that Sunday's the day of rest?
No, I told him it's a day of church.
Yeah.
And drinking holy water.
That's right.
Drinking the holy water. Yeah.
You're-
With
or
barley and
holy-
hops in it.
That's
Yes. Yes,
That was
sir.
what do you do? I think I gotta do it the next few Sundays in a row. So whatever. I just tell
What do
him,
you,
Brock.
what do you do when you pull wire?
Well, they're like a lot of the plants are they're upgrading a lot of their gear and their switch gear and all their power, and what you do is they put cable tray in the ceilings and then pull cable through it to supply to replace a lot of old stuff that they have, or to supply power to new units and stuff like that. So I mean, the guys
Who's doing that work? Contractors or
Motor City.
Motor City Electric? Yeah, figured.
I'm sure
So
you
they
see
do
some
it
of the
off production. So when you're going over you cannot, whatever you do, you cannot mess with or stop production.
Yeah.
So during the week, so that's why they do it on a Sunday. It's shut down. They can get their man lifts in and work in the ceilings and pull the cable and do all that stuff. So
see
that's why-
some of the boys.
what's that?
You see some of the boys from home.
Oh yeah. So it's busy. It's tedious work. The guys do a great job. It just takes a long time. It sucks. But that was my couple days.
That does suck.
It's overtime though, right?
Yeah.
Double time on
Okay.
Sunday or
Oh yeah, double bubble, baby. Double bubble.
nice.
All right, then it doesn't suck so bad.
Well, I was telling Brock before you guys jumped on, I just run Jamie's Chrysler 300 up the hills, so it was leaking oil pretty good. So that probably just covered what I worked for today.
That's
be
where your
donating.
money went, huh?
Well,
I'll be throwing it to hills, so he'll call me tomorrow. Hopefully it's not bad news.
that's all right, because then you can thank your your local 324 for paying for
That's right. That's right.
for the car. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I got a few Sundays lined up, so it'll be good. I got some tests and stuff to take care of some for my train certification next couple of weeks. So I'll be busy.
Cool.
Keeps you out
Well,
of trouble.
yeah. Well, speaking of busy, how about the Red Wings picking up finally closing the deal on Alex DeBrincat?
Yeah, where's he
Yes.
from? He's local, right?
He's from Farmington Hills, married a local girl, and he started with the Blackhawks and then was traded to Ottawa. Did not like it up in Ottawa, and one of his teams that he wanted to be traded to was the Red Wings. And the best part about it, he got the Wings got a homegrown price, so didn't have to go 8 years and some crazy amount of money. They only had to do 4. And they didn't have to give it. They gave up Dominic Kubalik and a minor leaguer and a couple draft picks that one of their first. They have 2 first-round picks next year, and they get to choose which one they want to give Ottawa. So obviously they'll keep the higher one, and the other one will go a little bit lower. But what's nice is they didn't have to give up any of their prospects, and.
Maybe
And with who they picked up, with DeBrincat, really solidified some a little more toughness on the team, a little bit more scoring power from the defensive side, from the defensemen. So that's going to be nice. But they still have $8.4 million sitting in the bank right now that they could still spend if they wanted to go out and get 1 or 2 more people if they wanted to, but it's not necessary. But Tyler Mott's out there available. Travis Konecny is still available. You get one of those 2 guys. Make some of those younger guys want to maybe work a little harder, and maybe some of these guys that are borderline, probably going to be on the team, but could be trade bait at at the trade deadline or something. You can probably cut them loose or trade them before the season starts. So, but great, it's a great pickup. I mean, the last 4 seasons he's got 40 plus goal seasons. He had 32 in the COVID season just before the season got shut down, and he had 27 this past year. Obviously, I mean, he's in Ottawa, so Ottawa's one of those teams where they're kind of in the same boat as the Red Wings. Still, they're kind of young and up and coming, but it was nice to see that happen. So maybe out of the 4 sports teams, we have at least maybe we'll have 2 that are going to keep us interested in sports throughout the fall and the winter. So,
You think Mott's agent has contacted the Red Wings?
I would certainly hope so. I mean,
God, I would hope so.
hey, kids in the top 5 for hits, block shots, and he's one of the best people on penalty kills. And that's one of the areas that the Red Wings really needed some help with. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
But you also could get him on the cheap. And he was probably going to score you some goals too, because he's home. Now he's home. Steve and Nancy still live in St. Clair. He just got married recently. So it'd be kind of nice to see that, they picked up some good people. And they could get him on the cheap for a 2-year contract or whatever. But he's one of those tough. He's one of those tough little kids. I mean, he's not a big kid, but he could probably come here and get you all that and probably score you, 10, 12 goals. If you put him on the right line.
Yeah, boy, remember him when we coached football at St. Clair?
Yeah, he was just a little
guy.
Yeah, but sitting there throwing footballs to him, before dinner before we watched film. Yeah, that was him and CJ. Him and CJ, yeah. But good athlete. He played hockey at U of M. Was drafted in the first round. Drafted in the first round by the Chicago Blackhawks. Traded to Columbus and then went to Vancouver, and then he was with the Rangers the last 2 years. And
it'd be nice. You can't ask for a better family, man. Those people. Gosh.
No, and he'd come here and he'd. I think he would sell out. I think he'd really do a real cleanup job. He's a tough little kid. He's not afraid to throw his body around. So,
what do you think of that, Brock?
Stop watching the Red Wings when Eiserman left the ice. Sorry.
Don't get too close to the camera. Your head looks big.
Well, you're sitting far away and your head still looks big. So what the hell are you talking about? Jeez, that's an orange on a toothpick.
Who's got topics? Let's get it rolling.
Well, the man has got. Who's got topics.
Hot topics, Brock. You got some topics, Brock?
Spit it out. Brock.
I sound a Fred, so I already forgot what they were.
Well, then you should have them. What'd you do? Erase it?
No, I figured you wrote them down.
I can write it down for you, Brock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know that you got yours. Your piece of paper and pencil there, Tim.
I think he's using crayons.
So
Yeah,
the first
crayon.
one, the first one that he brought up was your best spring break story.
Best spring break story, like high school spring break. We're talking about.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know you didn't go anywhere, did you, Mike?
Yeah, I don't have any stories.
Yeah, I hung out with my dad, had some beers, drinking Kumbaya, and listened to Motley Crue. That's a hell of a spring break, as far as I'm concerned.
I'll tell my first spring break story. Because I traveled with Fred. It was the first time I ever flew on an airplane. I was scared shitless. We almost missed our flight, didn't we, Fred, or something like that? I can't remember. Did we almost miss our flight? I can't remember.
No, we were good. We were just shitting our pants because remember we had to find because my mom's relative hooked us up for transportation down Daytona, we were like freaking out that we were gonna not be able to find it, but
That's what we were
did.
worried.
yeah.
And then that was in my first vision, I'll never forget it. We pull up, I think it was a van that brought us, right, Fred? So we
Yep.
unload, we go to the front desk, we get our stuff. I'll still never forget it. We walk out, it's hotter than hell. There's like a walkway to the front of the hotel where the beach is. I pop through with my suitcase, I turn my head, and of all people, guess who I see? Lisa Wayburn with a big old cup of whatever, screaming, "Hoochie coochie! Well, you want a drink out of my cup? There's a jumping jolly pecker in it." So I remember
What's a jumping jolly pecker?
it was a
It's
little
one of those
pecker
things that bounce on the
wind up
table,
and
but it was
bounced
a
up.
it was a it was a it was a pecker.
Oh,
What hotel is that?
oh God, I don't
No,
even
it's
Fred,
just
but
shit. That's a
The
test.
Plaza was the one that Ring City went to year after year.
probably
It's
that's
probably
true.
probably the same one. You walk right out, the pool's right there, and then you walk out and the beach is right there.
Well, I know it was right
Kenny-
across the street from Salty Dogs. Wherever Salty Dogs was is where we were. It was right
Yeah.
across the street.
Yep. And
Oh, I
then
remember.
yeah. And not only did we see that, then we saw security guards chasing Dean Osterlin with
Yeah, Dino was moving with two cases of beer.
with 2 cases of beer. He looked like O.J. Simpson running through the airport, jumping over people's
over.
luggage, like he's doing a commercial for Avis and as soon as or Hertz. And he got to his room, and once if you got into your room before they caught you, they couldn't do anything. So that was the fastest I've ever seen Dean run ever.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a lot of a man running that night.
How many days were we down there? 6, 7? I don't even remember.
We were down there Friday to Friday, I think.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
So Tim, all you remember is the jolly jumping pecker. That's the
Unbelievable.
extent of your memory.
That was my first vision. She'd come running up, and they had been there, and they were partying. And Fred and I got there just like before,
We got there late,
and they were having a great time. And she come running up, and you know her, man. She's just a great girl. She just likes to have a good time. And I'm telling you what, she's like, here, stuffs this thing in my face. It's this big plastic cup. I'll never forget. And she says, here, you want a drink? And I look at her. I go, what the hell's that? She goes, oh, that's my jumping jolly pecker. And it started from there. Unbelievable.
Mike, I'm waiting for you to say it.
What? Say what?
And it went up my ass.
Oh.
All right, that's my experience. All right, Brock.
He doesn't
If you wanna
remember
be a-
that part. He
If
doesn't.
you want to be a smart ass, Hanley, it's your turn. Go.
I was watching the show from last week, and when all the things that Fred was showing about, his whatever happened to his buttocks or whatever. But Mike, when you started saying that shit, I started commenting on there, but for some reason it didn't go on there. But that was
that's good. I'm glad that didn't happen.
because everything, the sidewalk went on my ass.
Yeah, that
Oh.
happens, man. It
Well-
happens. It only happens to Fred, but it happens.
Right.
Yes.
It was not
And
fun.
him and
Let's put it
Richard
there.
Gere,
Yeah.
stuff going up their
Terrible.
asses.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Talking about breaking your hymen.
All right, Brock, give me your spring break story. Let's go. Spit it out.
I think Brock still goes on spring break, don't you?
Yeah, no
Brock?
shit. He goes
Oh, yeah,
Key West every.
Well, we did for years. It was it kind of changed quite a bit when when we went, us at our age, when we went on spring break, the parents never went, right? Because
No.
it was a school sponsored event where you had chaperones, and they
Kenny
don't do
Rose's
that
mom.
anymore. So yeah, but that was everybody's mother when you were down there, right? So
Yeah. Love that lady.
She's
the
awesome.
difference is nowadays you got to go with your parents, or your parents are just going to send you somewhere, and we're not going to do that. But I did go on we went on cruises, and we rented houses on the beach with the kids, and just let them do their own thing, because everybody went their own separate way. But I wasn't going to send my my 17-year-old or my 18-year-old by themselves, right? But because I know what I did. So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. So, but I'll tell you why I wouldn't send them by themselves, because all the stories that I have to tell about my senior trip.
Yes.
Probably the craziest thing that I remember was we didn't stay in the plaza. There was a bunch of us. There was 8 of us that stayed in a hotel that was like 3 hotels down. It was the Colonial, and you had to get somebody down from the plaza to bring you up to their room. And what I saw on the 8th floor, I will never be able to erase. Does anybody remember Mark Pazuski?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, Mark Pazuski. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mark Pazuski was about 6'4", and at that time about 300 pounds. And he's roller skating up and down the hallway. And he's grabbing beers from every room, just getting totally wasted. And this guy he was an ox.
Big dude.
And he run into a Coke machine. He couldn't stop, runs into this Coke machine in the hallway, gets pissed off at the Coke machine, punches it, takes off the roller skates, and there's a window at the end of it. Picks up this fucking Coke machine and sends it out the window 8 floors high.
Holy shit.
Lands on the fucking sidewalk.
Wow.
Jeez.
Oh,
Jesus
my
Christ.
God.
What the fuck?
We're not Led Zeppelin.
Run!
Yeah. Yep.
Luckily, it didn't hit
I think my
anybody.
hotel. I think my hotel looks a lot better right now. Let's go back.
We're out.
Dude, there was a lot of shit going on, and that was probably the craziest thing that I saw when we were down there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy times, no question. I definitely wouldn't. We never sent our kids. We did the same thing you were talking about, Brian.
Right.
I would never. No.
Well, the funny thing is, I think our kids today, they want to go on spring break and they want to go with their friends, and I think they wanted their mom and dad to go so they could party with their mom and dad for maybe for the first time, type of a thing, where they could whoop it up and and have some fun with their parents and and let them go off and do their thing, but know that that they were still safe. I mean, we for my oldest, we started at a hotel in Tampa, and then we drove down to or excuse me, maybe I think it was Tampa, and then we drove over to Canaveral, and then we did a cruise, and then my youngest, they went to Treasure Island.
We ran into him.
Yeah, and they said they ran into you, and that was Caitlin's graduation or trip, and unfortunately I couldn't go. That was a bummer, but
We ran into your sister. I said, "Hey, dickweed."
yeah, right. So
On the
I mean,
beach. He was like,
yeah. Well, the cool thing, I mean, we went on that cruise with Taylor, and it was Taylor and Caitlin and like 7 other couples and their kids. We had a really good time. Everybody was kind of not like, it wasn't like everybody was in the same room like right next to each other, so you could do a few things on your own. But they had some pretty cool things. That's the cruise I told you about where I ended up finishing second for The Voice on the cruise, and I sang in front of the whole boat. Where it was kind of cool. But
"What's up?"
just the way you are by Billy Joel.
Yeah.
And you did it live with a band too, so that was cool. And of course I had to be the first one to do it. And so I'm like, oh, all right, let's just put the pressure on these other people. So let's go. So it was cool.
"What's your name, son?" "Fred." I was kidding. But
Yeah, that's
How do you spell that?
yeah.
Fred.
Phed. So
all right.
so
Okay.
the spring break,
Mike,
the spring break story that I actually have is it kind of filters off of Tim, because the first night we got down there, we were late and everybody was drinking. So he and I were like starting to slamming beers and I was getting pretty poo-pooed. And then I was going to go back to the room because I'm like, yeah, I can't do this because I'm going to start yakking. And all of a sudden, Garrett Cates says, "Hey, get over here." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Garrett?" Hey, walk in there, and he's got a bottle of Jack, and he's listening
Oh
to
boy.
Kiss. So we got in this big conversation about Kiss, and we're slamming. Oh my God, I got so waxed. They had to carry me to the room, they put me in the bed. That night I fell off the bed. I hit the corner of the the desk,
Oh,
cut myself. They put me back up on the bed, and then it was in the morning. We had to do the class picture down at the beach, and my mom paid for all that, and
good. Fred was in it.
I didn't make it. Didn't make
Remember Dennis White Terry? He paid for a room and he slept, shit you not,
in our
4
closet.
nights in the closet. And
Eric Camp stayed in our room too because he lost his wallet.
Oh, I do remember that.
And somebody, Good Samaritan, found his wallet, stuck it in a mailbox or in a U.S. postal thing, and someone sent it. And they sent it back to him, and he got it. So I thought that was.
You remember Dennis White Terry? God rest his soul. Do you remember when he was all messed up? He woke up in the morning. He stood up, he actually fell asleep in the corner of the closet with a beer in his hand, and he slept all night. When he woke up, he went and started drinking it. Honest to God. And then 2 nights later, Freddie, remember this one? He was like, "Oh, I don't feel very good." He's drinking. He fell straight backwards like a board. Boom. Passed out. I never seen anything like it.
Yep.
My God. And he spent like, honest to God, 4 nights out of the 6 nights or 7 nights we were there in our room.
Right.
So nobody got Sharpied during this or anything, or
no.
Okay.
Oh yeah, remember? Yeah, we did. We went to that one room with those girls, and they had the guy there that was passed out, and they drew the mustache.
Who was that? I don't know.
Make some kid from South Carolina or something like that.
It wasn't from our class or anything like that. So.
No, nobody. But
we were all good.
But I will tell you, this is what happened to me. Come to find out that Michelle Smith, and Lisa Wayburn and one other person snuck into our room, pulled my pants down,
don't say anything about it,
and snap pictures of me with for everything out there to see.
It was like a mouse speaking out of a haystack.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's not a happy camper when they
and the camera went up his ass.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is I threatened them. I said, either give me the pictures or I'm going to file a police report, because they said because they were gonna put them all over the school and all. That's what they were saying they were gonna do, and they gave them to me. I'm like, I wasn't gonna do that, but whatever. But so I found that they gave me the pictures, and I looked.
Was this Polaroids or something? What the fuck?
No, it was just a regular camera. And of course, who's in the background sleeping? And I'm telling you right now, his eyes were open. I still have the picture. He saw. Fuck you, Brock.
That's great.
He looked like Inspector Gadget there for a second.
I have props.
Oh God.
Okay, what's the next topic?
Well,
Next topic. Go ahead, keep moving.
Mike, did you do anything with the girls like on spring break?
Yeah. We always went on a cruise or a family vacation for their spring break.
Where'd you guys go, Mike? Where'd you go?
I think we had I don't know if all 3 of them we did cruises. I'm pretty sure all 3 of them we did cruises.
Really? I've never been on.
Oh man, you need it. We need to do the Wolfpack cruise.
The Wolfpack cruise, huh?
I've never been on a cruise.
Dude, I'm
Cruises
telling
are
you right now.
fun.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you
they're-
right now.
It's one of the
Unlimited
cheapest
packages,
ways
guys.
to have a family vacation, honestly, because
Yeah.
once you're on the
Okay.
boat, all the food is free, and you know you don't have to
Unli-
worry about paying for. I mean, that's usually when you're on vacation. That's the most
Right.
expensive part. You know, you get a
Brock, the
room.
best thing.
Could you imagine
Unlimited
how
drink,
much they are
unlimited
going
drink
to lose
package.
money? They're gonna lose a lot of money if the Wolfpack comes on a fucking cruise. boys.
Yeah.
We'll tell Brock he can
remember-
come on, Brock. We'll make them all lose money, right?
Oh, yeah. You're like Louis Anderson at the all-you-can-eat buffet, right? You go away.
You go.
You go now.
Flower. You
Give
go.
me a full hour.
You
Yeah,
no pay.
that's-
Just go.
Yeah, I remember the first cruise we went on. We got the unlimited drink package, and it was like
Oof.
it was a 3-day cruise.
Oof.
We were down in Jamaica and stuff like that, and the Lions and the Packers were playing on the big screen. You know, we had
On the deck.
perfect-
Yeah.
on the deck, perfect seats, all that stuff. You know, it was awesome. But so we get to port, and Nancy goes, "Hey, so how many pina coladas do you think you had?" No.
Anybody want to take a guess before Fred
Yeah.
says anything?
One day,
No,
3
for the
days.
whole trip. For the whole trip, 3.
Okay.
3 days,
Mike, what's your guess? Mike?
84
Mm.
total. I say 84 total drinks, maybe not pina coladas, but
Said pina coladas, right, Fred? Pina coladas.
Oh, yeah, that's just one of other drinks I had.
okay.
too.
I'll say. Oh, you were drinking other stuff. Okay, 28.
Brock,
You just told pina coladas.
Yeah,
just pina coladas.
33.
No,
33. Okay. What about you, Tim?
I'm gonna say 40.
okay. Tim is the closest. I had 45.
45 pina coladas.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's all. She goes, so now, how many beers do you think you had, Fred?
Well, how many? I mean, like, if you have 45 fucking pina coladas, you walked off that fucking boat with diabetes, man.
They had
Sugar.
they had insulin shots.
Yeah. Happy,
That was
happy
the
time.
chaser, insulin.
His last one, he was like,
Yeah, you know how they have the little sidecars? His sidecar was insulin.
Yeah. All right, Mike, how many beers
"Oh,
do we have?
right up his ass."
For 3 days.
Yeah. How many beer? Oh, if you had 45 pina coladas.
You drink double that of beers, so you got to
No,
double.
I don't know.
I'm gonna
50.
say,
I'll say
you say
50.
Brock,
What's that?
how many
Beers?
beers?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would. Yeah. So, what are you talking about? You know, I'll go 65.
Well,
Wow.
no, 3 days. So that's 3 days.
I don't care.
That's over 20 beers a night, plus all the pina coladas.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna-
that's
I'm gonna-
15 pina
I'm going
coladas a
there.
day for the math challenge.
I'm
Like you
gonna
think.
yes, I'm gonna dial it down a little bit. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna stick with my number 40.
What did everybody say again?
I said 50.
Okay, Mike was the closest. I had 53.
Oh.
53 beers and 45 pina coladas.
In 3 days. Yep.
Holy moly.
Do the math, boys. Do the
I'm
math.
I'm surprised you didn't go into a diabetic shock or
Well,
something.
I'm telling you right
Yeah.
now, it was a
No wonder
marathon. It was
balls up
a
like it does.
marathon every day. You know, didn't have to get crazy. Just sitting at the pool.
Didn't have to get crazy. 30 fucking drinks plus per day. Well, I didn't
Yeah.
get too crazy.
Well,
Jesus.
no,
You know,
Should have been in a coma.
I didn't even get.
Carnival
I didn't
has
even
a
get.
drink.
I didn't even get drunk. That's the sad part.
Carnival has a drink package and it's 15 a day. After 15, they cut you off. So you would have been like cut off at noon.
Yeah, that's why I won't travel Carnival. Carnival.
Oh my god. Oh my
Wow.
god.
Wow.
That's
It's all
crazy.
about Royal. It's all about Royal Caribbean, boys and girls.
So it's unlimited drinks on Royal Caribbean?
Yep.
You gotta have unlimited if we're going. That's all I gotta
Oh
say.
hell yes! It is the balls. and the food is
So do you-
phenomenal.
Does Royal Caribbean have comedy shows on their boats?
Oh, dude, they have everything.
Yeah, I think it's pretty
we-
much the
we
same,
saw-
Rock, as
Yeah, we saw
Carnival.
Rock. They have a theater there, and they had Rock of Ages, the musical. They had a diving show in the back where they had the high boards and the people diving into the water. They had an ice rink if you wanted to skate. They had the center. I mean, it was like lakeside in the middle. It had all these different restaurants stuff, and they had musicians that were just phenomenal. There, Steve Rogers, Renee Rulo's husband, and I found this guy at one of the bars, and I think he was from South America, you know. And dude, what a stud guitar player and singer. We went and watched him 3 nights in a row. He was awesome. But they
They have some good ones.
they had some great shows, man. Some awesome shows in there.
Like-
And they have trivia. They had trivia and stuff like that. I ended up being the captain for the trivia team, and I
Right
got
up
the
your alley.
microphone. I got up the microphone and I looked at my team and said, "Don't worry, folks," because it was music trivia. I said, "Don't worry about this. I got us covered." and those people on the other team were like, "Yeah, right." I'm like, "Oh, bam, 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 bam," and then they got 3 people helping the
I
other
had
captain. I'm-
15 pina coladas and 30 beers. I got us going.
Yeah, let's go. But it was oh yeah, and Kendra was getting like all worked up because how many more beers are you gonna drink? I'm like, hey, this is fucking vacation. It's unlimited. Whoop it up, woman.
Good God. They probably had a
Oh, yeah.
helicopter following the boat just in case you passed out.
Fred, maybe that was the source of your leg problem. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
maybe
guessing, but
What's going on?
Well, I come to I just found out from my rheumatologist it's a myth about alcohol and gout. So I'm like, all right, sweet.
Yeah,
okay.
unbelievable.
So
Oh boy.
Unbelievable.
You were getting up to it.
next topic. Okay.
Next. Next.
Next. Okay. Our cat or dog person?
I'll go
Are you a
first.
cat?
I'm a dog person. But we've had dogs, but I never really was a pet person growing up. I never had pets. My sister had a dog, but so we had a family dog, but we've had cats too. But I like dogs better. I'm a dog person. We have 2 dogs. So
Rock, how about you, buddy?
I used to be more of a dog person. I like cats, but I used to be but now I'm more of a cat person. I have a cat. We have 2 cats now. We don't have a dog, but I got a cat that I can take outside and it'll follow me around the yard. I call it walking the pride lands, like Lion King, and he just literally will follow me around.
do you hold them
I
up?
call him,
Do you hold them up?
What's his name?
Yeah.
Julie?
pardon
What's
me?
his name? Julie.
Sorry,
That's just
Rock.
terrible. Why would you say that? I gotta
That's
go.
awful.
He's the one following Julie around, not the
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. He outkicked the coverage. I forgot about that.
No
Yeah.
question.
But the cat is awesome. What I do like about cats is when we leave, you just have an automatic feeder. You got the big ass kitty litter, and you can go.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. Dogs are a commitment. You either got to take them with you or got somebody to watch
It's
them.
so fucking needy. A cat's like, pet me, feed me. You have your
Forget
time with them, and then you just go.
Or sometimes they're
problem.
like, "Fuck off! I want to be alone," and they're just gone.
But I respect that.
I do too.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
Well, I already know Tim's answer, so go ahead, Tim.
Oh, definitely a dog for sure.
Yep.
For sure. We had when we moved into our house, we had Katie. She was a golden retriever, unbelievable dog. Never barked, awesome mutt. Just damn shame the dogs. They gotta leave us at a certain time. But she was great. And then we never thought, well, oh, we're never gonna get a dog again after Katie, whatever. Well, now we got Bobo. So so Bo's around, and Madison's she moved into an apartment. She couldn't have a dog, so Bo's living with us now. So, but he's awesome. He's a blessing. So, but
Nice.
I do have a couple cats, but we had my barn cat we called Mouse. I don't know if you guys Fred, you ever meet Mouse?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, well,
You never saw him. He was all he did is he took care of
Yeah.
the mice problem.
He
Yeah.
identifies as a mouse. Is that what it is?
Yeah, called-
Yeah.
actually but she
It's transitioning.
he got into something and ate something, or I don't know, and she ended up passing away. So that's sad. But yeah, definitely dogs. I love dogs. I'm a TikTok fool watching dogs. I love it. Just love them. So
So we had a lab before we got our labradoodle, and we had to put the dog down. She was with us for
Oh.
quite a while, and so Tammy and I were talking. We're thinking, I don't know, it's going to be a while before we get another dog. My middle daughter Delaney texts her a picture of his name's Bernie, but texts her a picture. Oh, they have these labradoodles. They drove to Jackson the next day. They drove to Jackson and picked up Bernie. So it wasn't even a full day that we were without a dog.
Yeah.
It's like, geez,
Oh my God.
yeah,
that was a
Well,
quick decision.
that's a
Nice.
picture of the
That went
girl.
right up your ass.
Yeah, right up
That's
my
a
ass.
girl. That's a girl.
Yep.
Nice dog.
And of course, your family's had the hell and back with dogs, Mike. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And poor Allie.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, I grew up with my mom. For some reason, my mom.
Was it Tupper?
Yeah. First of all, we had a beagle. I don't know why my mom and dad got a beagle.
Remember that.
It was named Benji, and it tore up the house so bad. And it got to my first communion Bible. My mom said, "Get that fucker out of this house now." You know what I mean?
Well, you know why? Beagles like to be outside.
Right.
They,
Well, of course,
Beagles are not good inside dogs.
my parents didn't know any about that crap, so they sent him away, and then Tupper just kind of floated around our house. We didn't, we didn't even know whose dog it was. And it would just show up, and start playing, and Leslie would start playing with it, him, and had a riot with them, and come to find out that it was Bob and Bruce Beaton's dog, their parents' dog, or I don't know if they have I don't know if they had a sister that was special needs maybe, and just couldn't take care of it anymore, and they gave Tupper to us, and and she became the family dog, and she got hit by a car, and survived, and my dad paid for the surgeries and all that stuff, and my dad took Tupper everywhere with him. He took if he took a bike ride, Tupper was running right next to him. If he went for a walk, if he was going somewhere, he had him in the car, all that stuff. And Leslie loved him and all that stuff. Well, and he started getting a little bit older, and he got sick, and he was snipping at people. So when I was at basketball camp and Leslie was at cheerleading camp, they put him down, unfortunately. But in the meantime, before that, someone stole the dog out of our yard and took him out into the country, and we couldn't find him, and somebody took him. And finally somebody found heard about, we were looking for our dog and fit the description, and sure enough, this guy said this dog just ended up in my yard and wouldn't go anywhere. So I took him in. He was in the military, and he was he was going to get deployed, and they were just going to take the dog to the dog pounder, the Humane Society, and just a week, like 3 days before he left, found out that there was somebody looking for a dog that fit the description, and sure enough, it was Tupper. but he didn't last too much longer after that. But we also had a cat, Thumper, and this cat was and Mike, you remember the cat?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm sure you do, Tim. This thing wasn't a cat. This thing was a mountain lion. This thing was his paws were that
Big.
big. I mean, he was huge. He was about this. I mean, he used to fight dogs, and I'm like, man. And if he got underneath like the height of bed, and you were trying to get him out, he'd rip your ass apart. I mean, I'm like, I hated that cat, but got rid
I like
of
that
him.
cat.
Yeah, he was a badass. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah.
But the thing was, is growing up, when we got married and stuff like that, I'm like, I don't want cats or dogs, because I watched Marley and Me, and I said, I don't want to go through all that crap. And then when I got when I started dating Kendra, she had Murphy, and obviously I fell in love with Murphy, and
Yeah.
and I loved Murphy to death. And unfortunately, he just passed away a couple, not too long ago, and it's been kind of tough around here, but fortunately, before he passed away, Kendra's parents had a Boston Terrier, who was getting bullied by a Frenchie, that they just bought, and so he wasn't eating. He was kind of timid and stuff like that. So we brought him up to our place. So he had Murphy and him, had someone to play with and hang out with and stuff like that. So, I think what ended up being a blessing is because when Murphy passed, Ollie became kind of like the Band-Aid, or the one to kind of help with the sadness. That's for sure. It's something that you hate to go through, though. I mean, it's
Horrible.
yeah, so, but the thing is dogs are so awesome. Cats to me are too sneaky for me, but I mean, if you got a nice cat, I'm not gonna go, spit at it or throw things at it. So it's, but
We won't have no more at our house when this last one, this house cat's done. We won't have no more. Done.
That's what I said with this. I mean, Ollie's only 4, so I mean,
I'll remember you said that, Tim.
No cats. We'll probably have a dog till the
I'm
day
gonna
I-
make a note. Hold on. Let me get my.
No
piece of
cats.
paper.
Where's my.
Hang on. I'll write it down
Here,
for
Mike.
you.
All right,
Here, Mike.
thank
Here,
you.
you can borrow this
Thank you.
pencil.
Got it.
No
Thank you.
cats.
Tim said no cats. Okay. Got it.
But you can have,
Okay.
you can have.
Wow, I'm
dogs.
glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't spell it with a K, Tim.
Hey,
Was that a CATZ or was that an S?
cat.
Oh, okay,
Cats.
gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, you got another topic there, Freddie boy?
Give me a topic, Fred. Give it to us. Let's go.
Okay,
out.
Let's go. Spit it out, fucker.
Okay, the drunkest you've ever been.
Ooh.
Ooh. I got to think about it.
I know my spring break one was bad, but that was not the worst one.
Ooh.
The worst one was for me was I was with Tim, Mike Sonnenfeld, and a bunch of people up at Rochelle's.
Rochelle. I remember that.
And I mean, we were pounding beers, and I was drinking pitchers of beer like this. I mean, oh God. And that asshole right there got in trouble. My mom ripped him a new asshole. How did you let him drive home? Blah, blah, blah.
Took a swing at me. I kicked you in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, went right tumbling down to the river. Luckily, I didn't fall in.
Hey,
Jeez.
swear to God, he's so mad. He don't even remember. He takes a swing at me. I
do
duck.
too. Remember? I remember. I just told you. I took a swing at you.
Well, that night.
Kicking the butt.
That night you didn't. I had to tell you about it, but you swung at me, and he swung around so much I just kicked him right square in the ass, and down he went down the hill.
Oh,
That was bad. Oh,
drop, tuck, and roll.
oh, it was bad.
But yeah, got home and fucking was dry. I was dry heaving
Your mom was
alcohol.
super mad at me. Super mad at me.
And I kept telling my mom, it's not his fault, it's my fault. I shouldn't blah blah blah. But yeah, that was.
I walked with a limp for about a month, I think, after Kiki got done chewing my ass.
Yeah, I think that might have been 1993.
I don't even know.
Yeah, it was 93. And because
It was bad.
my mom was still alive. She passed 2 years later, but
Oh,
yeah, that's the last time I ever threw up drinking alcohol. Knock on wood.
oh man. Okay, Brock.
I think probably the drunkest I ever been was my senior homecoming. I was at an after party and I was already drunk and we were playing a game and somebody had brought a fifth of Jack and it probably had
Oh.
3 inches at the bottom of it. And I don't know why, but somebody said, I bet you can't. We were all talking about drinking. Of course, I opened my fucking mouth. So somebody says, but you can't drink all this. And there's a whole, 20 people around the table.
I'll
Fuck,
show
I
you.
can't. I fucking drink it all. Probably about 10 minutes after that, I don't remember a fucking thing. I remember my girlfriend walking me up the stairs to my house. She knocked on the door. My mom answered the door, and I went, you don't.
Oh.
Is it who did
It
Leanne
was
have to
Jack
walk you up there?
Daniels. I still won't drink Jack Daniels to this day.
No,
Oh.
apple barrel schnapps for me.
Oh,
Oh, even think about it or smell it makes me sick. So Leanne have to walk you up to the friggin' up to the house.
no, it was Amy Andrews.
Oh, yeah.
She's all 2'5" trying to walk your ass up.
She was pretty
That's
strong.
Yeah, I
Oh,
bet
yeah.
you she was real happy with it.
Oh yes, I heard about it from my mom. Everybody.
Oh.
I would never do that again. I mean, I never ever did that again. I mean, like you slam a beer, that's one thing, but slamming alcohol,
Never. Never
Yeah.
again. Woo.
peer pressure, young and impressionable.
Get you every time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we've all experienced a night of drinking beer together. So that's one good thing. I mean, Brock and I don't know, just out of a whim, I think we ran into each other uptown and we said, well, hey, let's go up to Raspberries or was it whatever? I
Oh,
said
yeah.
Dale Volker's band's playing. It was, or what is it, Model T or whatever it was. And he and I had a riot. And as soon as we left there, I mean, all he could say, "Oh man, that was awesome!" So we had so much fun, man. It was a good night.
Well, we
Mike,
drove around the back roads first, drinking a lot of beers,
yes,
and then what? So we're singing a lot of Alice in Chains was really big at that time, and lo and behold, Fred's got to go up there singing Alice in Chains song that we just sang like fucking 15 minutes ago.
Love it. How about you, Wardo?
I had to think about this one because I've had quite a few incidents. Let's put it that way. I think
Hey, Mike, let me give you a break. Because I'm going to give you a backup story.
Okay.
So you think about one more, but listen to this one. So a year ago or 2 years ago, I was in Key West, and because can't remember. I've always get tipsy, but I'm always really good at just maintaining, right?
Oh.
So one night we had 20 people in a bar, knew them all. They're all a lot of our kids, never been to Key West before. I'm excited to show them around. We're Irish Kevin's. They have this thing called the Irish Car Bomb, which is
Oh boy.
Guinness and a shot of whiskey inside of it, right?
Oh.
So I said I'd do an Irish Car Bomb, but what I ended up doing was we went out to breakfast, and that's all I ate all day, and just in the just having a good time, I just forgot to eat all fucking day long. And so I was doing an Irish Car Bomb with this person, and I did one with this person, and then I did one with this person. And probably 11 o'clock, I'm looking around going, after 6 of those motherfuckers, and they consider them shots. I was like, Julie, you're gonna walk. I'm holding onto your shoulder. I'm gonna follow you. I had forgotten every fucking drinking rule as an adult. Just fucking lost my fucking mind and got poo-pooed. But I mean, I made it through it. We went to another bar, and the bartender says, "What do you want?" I says, "I want a fucking glass of water."
I love it. I love
But
it.
I forgot every drinking rule there ever was. I mean, just
Yeah, you
it
have to
makes
eat.
something.
You have to eat.
I know.
Oh yeah.
So I've decided my worst one was it was my cousin Heather's 30th birthday party out at her house on Springborn Road. And I think I went out the night before, so I just brought a 6-pack of beer. And you guys all know my family, so we're quite the drinkers. So for someone to show up with a 6-pack, that means, hey man, I'm taking it easy, right? So that's all I was gonna drink, 6-pack. So I get, probably 4 beers in, and my uncle Jim opens a fifth of Goldschlager. You guys remember Goldschlager, right? It's basically like Fireball before there was Fireball, right?
Right, right.
So he takes a little drink, and at the family parties, you just pass it around the bottle. You don't, I mean, we
Right.
just drink it out of the bottle. So he's trying to pass around. Nobody's taking any. So I'm standing next to he's trying to offer. Nobody's taking it. I'm like, I'll have some. So we we start drinking it. My uncle would take a sip. I probably drank 3/4 of that bottle of Goldschlager.
Oh,
Finished my other 2 beers, and then my uncle opens the Jägermeister, and
Oh,
he's doing the same thing, and nobody's drinking it. So him and I drank the fifth of Jägermeister too. Like maybe people had maybe a couple sips or whatever. I was smoked, man, just totally destroyed. I go out to my car. It's parked out on Springborn Road, and there's a ditch alongside the road. It's on the dirt road part. And I had to get my cousin's card. I left it in the visor of my car. So I go to open up the passenger side door. I fucking knocked myself into the ditch. Okay. It was winter time. This is the night before the Super Bowl. So it's winter time. It's not wet. It's frozen. I fucking fall into the snow and the ice and the ditch, and my door's wide open. And I'm trying to fucking get into my car. I'm literally trying to climb up the door, and I can't. That's how screwed up I was. And I must have been gone for a while, because my brother comes out. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to get into my car."
I'm trying
I
to
said,
drive.
what are you getting in your car for? He said, "I got to get Heather's birthday card. It's in my car." So he helped me up. And I just sat in my passenger seat for a while. He took the birthday card into her. I must have sat in my car for a couple hours, and then
God.
they ended up driving me home. But I was in
oh my
bed.
God.
I was so sick. I was literally in bed until the Super Bowl started. That's when I got out of bed to watch the game. And
Wow.
this is like 20 years ago. So the Super Bowl started like 8 o'clock or something like that, 7 o'clock, whatever it was. I was in bed until then. That's how sick I was.
Oh my
It was
God.
crazy. I don't know how I got upstairs. I lived at the house on Market Street. We have like 15 stairs to get up to our, that where our bedroom's at. I don't know how. I have no idea how I got up there. I have no
Wow.
clue. No recollection of ever going up the stairs.
Oh my gosh.
So
I think
that's
we have a
probably
winner.
that takes the cake, that one.
Wow. Jeez, oh Pete. Crazy. Oh my gosh.
So what about you, Tim? It's
Yeah,
your turn.
Tim. Your
Don't
turn.
don't think you're getting away with anything.
No shit.
Well, you guys remember Mike McTack's house?
Oh yeah.
That way across the
Where
street,
Art on
Shea Road,
Marsh?
right? Shea Road?
Winter, Shea Road, right
Yeah.
across the street from Winter Circle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
We went there. I was a freshman at Macomb. We went there for a party, and you know how them parties were. Everybody parks on the grass. Everybody had a good time. we bonfire in the back, that typical thing. Show up during that's me, Mike Sonnenfeld, Jamie. I think Andrew's dating Mike at the time or whatever, and then we were partying. And Mark Rhodes, you remember Mark Rhodes had that
Oh
great
God.
car? Remember that big black car he had? He goes, "I'm going to Elginak. What's that liquor store that everybody goes by the school there? I forget.
The one
Yeah,
right over
big
there
thing.
by where we went to New Year's, Mike. And
Yeah.
one right by.
Oh
I had
yeah,
that.
I don't. I know the place you're talking about. I don't know the name of it though.
Yeah.
It's
he
right
could
down
buy
the street from my daughter's house.
he could buy there. So we jump in this car, this black 4-door LTD, but it's a bomb. It's big. Next thing you know, the Jack Daniels is out. We're drinking it and drink it, you pussy, drinking this, drinking it. Next thing you know, Mike Sonnenfeld's out the window, leaning on the window, smashing mailboxes. We're going down the road and we're getting bombed. And Mark's swerving. And I actually saved Mike Sonnenfeld's life. He swings and misses, right? He's falling out the door. And Mark's doing about 40.
Oh
I
man.
grab him by his belt. Like he drops the pipe or bat that we're smashing mailboxes. So we make it to the store. We buy more. I think it's Southern Comfort, and then he was Southern Comfort and Mark Rhodes. I swear to God, Mark Rhodes like Jägermeister, or I don't even remember. It was bad, right? So we get back to the party. I drove remember my Camaro. Remember that red Camaro I had, that 77 Camaro, sweet car, right? I always took care of it. So we get there. The girls are pissed. They're like, "Where you guys been?" Whatever. We got Mike Sonnenfeld's parents' house was down. God, I don't even remember. It wasn't far from there. It was on a dirt road. So
Oh, is that when they moved? They moved from King Road to the next
built that house out on, I forget
Oh,
the
yeah.
mayor, not mayor, but I can't. Anyway, it's not far from there, so we're gonna drive there. So Mateak, in the meanwhile, had taken keys, right? If you were at the party, they would take keys. I get my keys. He goes, "That's fine. I'll go get your car." Next thing I know, all I see is these headlights going like this. He's doing donuts in the grass in my car, my Camaro. I'm ready to kill him, right? He pulls up. We get in. Mike Sonnenfeld gets in. Girls get in the back. We're driving. Probably had no business driving. Nothing. We're driving down this dirt road, and Mike's like, "My parents' house is coming up. My parents' house is coming up." And I'm like, "We're flying." My car somehow, some way, did a 90-degree turn into his parents' house where we thought we were going to end up in the ditch, right? Pull in there. The girls are out, mad. We're feeling horrible. Him and I puked literally for about an hour and a half in his mom's wash tub. And he officially got thrown out of his mom and dad's house that night. She said, "You're out, get your own place." We threw up like in a wash tub, and I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and he'd puke and I'd puke. We were just,
Oh God.
it was the
Sounds
worst.
disgusting.
It was the worst.
That's called
Another-
bonding.
I got another great
Bonding,
one.
yeah.
All right,
That's a war story.
story number 2. I
Holding
got
hands.
And it went up his ass.
Story number 2. I was working at McDonald's since I was a kid, whatever, 13, 14, my first job. Go out with Matt Rumenap, Russ Truliard, and Todd Edwards had just was in town or was visiting, right? Remember Todd came from another school. And we're out in Matt's Horizon or whatever that was, that square blue car, a piece of shit car he had. We're drinking Southern Comfort and Coors beer.
What
And
the
we
fuck is this with Southern
Southern
Comfort?
Comfort. God. Oh,
Terrible. We're drinking in the oil wells behind my mom and dad's house, right? Because we could close the gate and drink back there and nobody come in there. So we get totally just moved, like just out of control.
Liquid.
We're in town. Russ decides to walk home. Todd disappears, right? Just disappears. Matt and I are sicker than a dog. Both of us got to get up in the morning and work at McDonald's because we opened up a McDonald's restaurant there. And it was like 5 in the morning. We're opening up the store, and I'll never forget this. I look out on M29. Remember Russ Juilliard lived down M29. Remember that? Like down
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
And I look out there. I rub the window. I look out. Todd Edwards is walking down M29. I opened the door. Hey, what are you doing? He goes, I'm lost. I'm not from this town. I don't know where I'm going. He's been walking around town all night.
Jesus.
He passed out. Oh, God. So stupid. I don't know how we survived. Thank God McDonald's had food because we were horrid. I was making biscuits and with buttermilk and biscuits the next day puking in the sink. My boss said, don't you dare throw up in the biscuits.
Those are the good old days. Just don't throw up in the biscuits.
So what do you call it when you get totally fucked up? What do you call it? Mike, you call it smoked, right?
Yeah, well, I have all kinds of names, but yeah, smoked is usually what I say. Yeah, I was smoked.
Yeah,
See, I usually call it
poo-pooed. That's what
Yeah.
That's what I use.
I usually say
Poo-pooed.
liquid or smoked.
Yep.
Hammered.
Sometimes I'll say
Hammered,
rocked.
yeah, hammered.
I got rocked.
Hammered.
Rocked, yeah.
Hammered.
I got rocked. So
That's a good little saying. You could do a little poll on that. What's your favorite saying? Poo-poo.
I say poo-pooed because it just seems like, I mean, there's nothing left after poo-pooed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you poo-poo, there's nothing. Can't come back from that.
Hey, here's a classic. Here's a classic story. Kevin Mon, he calls me up. He goes, "Hey, you want to play in this golf outing with Wayne Webster for his son's hockey fundraiser?" I'm like, "Sure." So we get out. We go out to a golf course up in Port Huron, and we start drinking there. And I mean, and by the time we got done, we went into the clubhouse, had a few there, and then they drove us back to Kevin's house, and we sat in his garage, and he has a refrigerator full of beer. We're listening to tunes, and we're just pounding beers. Ooh. And we're all sitting there, and I'm like this, and I'm like, Kevin went in the house. He goes, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a minute. Well, I guess he went to the bathroom and he passed out on the toilet, sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and Wayne's sitting there, and we're just sitting there like, and then I'm like, hey,
I did shitter.
I go, where's Kevin? He goes, I don't know. He said he had to go to the bathroom. I said, that was an hour ago. All of a sudden he comes back out and he goes, whoo. And I'm like, what? He goes, I passed out. Sorry, boys, I passed out on the toilet while I was going to the bathroom. I'm like, he goes, get me a beer. So we had a couple more. Well, he had to teach the next day.
Oh my gosh.
I worked at the Port Huron Area School District, and I went in there and I was as white as Mike's guitar behind him. Went to a meeting and I looked at my boss and said, "Hey, I'm not feeling too good." She goes, "I can tell you look horrible. So why don't you go home for the day?" I'm like, all right, cool. Kevin had football practice that day. He canceled it.
Wow.
Came home. and friggin' Nancy and Tori and Tammy's was Wayne's wife's name. Oh, just was beyond pissed at all of. I mean, just pissed. We literally, it was we got, as you would say, Mike, got smoked. We got smoked rock. We were poo-pooed. We were on death's doorstep. Yeah.
Wow.
I got a good one for you, Freddie. Do you remember the time? Did we go partying the night before and then I took you down to Tiger Stadium? We worked out together. Do you remember that?
We watched the Red Wings at your house.
You were smoked, and Kevin Ritz comes up to me and goes, "Hey, way to bring your ass buddy."
It wasn't Kevin Ritz. It was Alan
Trammell too. Yeah, Alan Trammell.
He's like, "Woo, buddy, they mix in the water there."
Woo.
Canine cologne.
He was sweating, and it was coming out of Fred, and it was bad. Tram walked by him and goes, "Woo."
He goes, "Ooh, canine." He goes, "Ooh, canine cologne." He goes, He goes, my name. He goes, hi, Alan. I go, hi, I'm Fred. He goes, I'm surprised you can remember your name. He goes, hey, mix in a water next time.
Yeah. Oh man, unbelievable.
Yeah, but I did okay working. I did okay working. I didn't puke or anything. But
Oh yeah,
that's a day that Mickey Talenton walked in.
yeah.
It's like just like looking around at everybody and takes his shirt off, puts a pair of shorts on. He's got his slides on, puts a
Yep.
cigar in his mouth, grabs it.
That's it. He's a big dude.
About five sets, put those away, went in, took a shower, and left.
See,
He looked at Timmy and he goes like that and just
so it's see you, Mickey.
yeah. Because if Kevin Ritz would have came up and said anything, I said, well, yeah, how about staying up on the big team for once?
Yeah.
Hey, are you a starter or a reliever, or don't you know?
Hey, Brock, this is a good one. So another guy I was working out with in there, Scott Aldred, right? He was
Yep.
the quarterback for Montrose Hill McCrory. We played him in the football playoffs. My junior year, he was a left-handed quarterback and the cornerback that Randy burnt 3 times for a touchdown.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
because
I brought
free
the film
safety.
in. I brought the film in. I popped it in. I said, "Remember this?" He goes, "Are you kidding me?" It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, Randy's running away from him, and Scott
Trip 'em.
doesn't try to trip him, slides at his feet to try to trip him. I'm like, yeah, nice try, buddy. I'm like,
And then it went up his ass.
you need new material, Brock. Come on now.
No, I like that saying. I'm not gonna let it go.
Well, here,
Good for
then
you,
don't let
Brock.
go of my ass.
Good for you. Good for you. Oh shit, boys. So,
Yeah.
So last topic. What is the number one thing you like to do during the summer?
oh man.
Of course, Mike, you don't have the summer because you're traveling all over the
Yeah,
place.
not this summer. I'll go first. We have the last few years we have a camper at a seasonal site in Port Sanilac, so we go up there quite often. Just hanging out. It's right on the beach there in Lake Huron, so they have their own beach, and I like being in the water, so I always have. Like my kids will, they'll walk up to the water. Oh my God, that's too cold. I walk in and just dive in. That's what you got to do with the water
Right.
around here.
Sure.
Just dive in, get it over with, pull the Band-Aid
Water's
off.
really warm though this year.
Yeah, and that's what I like to do: camping and swimming up there. And I got a Blackstone for Father's Day up there, so
Awesome.
Nice.
I've made a bunch of stuff on that already this summer. Breakfast every morning. It's awesome. So
Love it.
Yeah, it was fun going up there that day, coming up there and visiting you. It was
yeah,
fun.
it's a nice little park. So
Yep. How about you, Brock?
Boating, obviously, and I'm just love the boat and just I think being from this area, I don't think there's a better place to be in the water. Like Mike is saying, you can jump in the water. It's nice that nothing's going to eat you, right? The water is so beautiful, and you're not worried about getting being on the low end of the food chain. But one thing I don't like to do in the summertime is I don't like to leave Michigan because we struggle through the winter time, and we've seen
You don't want to
concerts,
miss out.
Yeah, we've been to concerts in Nashville. Went and seen Kenny Chesney in Nashville, and that was a double negative. I mean, first of all, I couldn't. It was 80, 89 degrees, 90 degrees, humidity. I was sweating my ass off. There's no water anywhere, and you're in Nashville. There's music everywhere, and we paid to go see a concert. We get to see wonderful talent for free at every bar, right? So
right.
we never do that again. But I just don't like to leave Michigan in the summertime. Let's do it, November, March. Do those.
Yeah.
I'll leave them. I'm not leaving Michigan in the summertime.
Right. Well, I'm right there with you, Brock. I'm all about going on the boat and and then maybe having some people over, play some cornhole and having some beers, listening to some music out on in the backyard, stuff like that. One of my favorite things to do is Mike and I started a tradition where we meet up and we go up to Port Huron, get on the boat, and we drive it all the way down to Marine City, or cruise down to Marine City from there. And it's just he and I, and then we've had we've had a couple visitors a couple times, but we've picked up his dad and Allie and took them for a little cruise a little bit. But the 1 year that we did it was unbelievable. The water was glass from Port Huron all the way to Marine City. I didn't even have my boat at full speed, and I got to Marine City in a half an hour. I mean, I could not. We could not believe. We couldn't. I mean, first of all, I've never seen the water like that before. So it was just like it was just like floating on air. And we get right by the St. Clair power plant right there. And Mike and I are standing, and I'm driving like this. He's standing right next to me. And I look at him, and he looks at me, and he goes, "I wonder what the poor people are doing."
It was on a Friday.
I said, "I'm driving the boat. You're just here. You're here next to me." Oh, but I mean, we've had some good times. We had the one time we went up to we went down to Marine City and came out and floated down and kept coming back. We were out like right where that sandbar is, where you usually go, Brock. Right out in front of Butch Rumenep's old place there. And we ended up going up and parking the boat. We went to Wings, etc. And these guys are going by with their power boats, and all we were saying is compensating for something there, buddy. It's just ridiculous how loud some of those boats are, but it's
Oh yeah, there you go. Cool.
There you go. Nice.
It's incredible.
Those cruise ships.
We're out there fishing. We're out there fucking fishing. These Norwegian. That was a Viking was going by.
Yeah, the
Viking cruise.
The cruise ships. Yeah.
Yep.
I like going up. I like going up
Those
the
are
Black
something.
River too. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, you go up the
Yeah.
Black River. You can, what's kind of cool about there is you can see other people's boats and the names that they have, and I'm just absolutely loving those center. I'm in love with those center console, like the Grady Whites and the those type of this 22 foot Scarab type boat, just freaking awesome. And you get up the one area and you get to pick up some speed to cool off a little bit because it gets warm.
Gets
warm back there, but you're listening to some tunes, and you can have a great conversation, have a few toddies along the way. You run into some people that and it's just one of those things where when you're on the water, and to be honest with you, I don't know if there's a place in the Midwest or anywhere that I've ever been that I think that we have by far one of the best waterways in the world. I know Michigan has more boats per capita in Michigan than Florida.
Do you know that Michigan holds right now has the number 1 and 2 boat parties in the nation? Number 1 being Raft Off, number 2 being
Jobby New. Yep. Yeah. I'm not big on that type of stuff because people get a little too carried away. But but I will say that those two things that no one's drowned. They haven't had any issues with that. Now they have with the float down that they have from Port Huron down to Marysville. Now the kid that drowned, he was actually on the University of Michigan water skiing team.
Oh,
so
geez.
So that was, of course, there's some heavy drinking and flashing and all that stuff going on, just kind of like how Jobby Nooner is. But the one thing I haven't had the pleasure of doing is I haven't gone around the corner. I have not been to like Algonac or like the Browns or anything like that.
Not missing much.
I call bullshit.
Yes.
What's down there is incredible. When I go down there,
Well, down there, but I'm talking about Browns. You're not missing much of Browns.
No, it's
No, but when you
fun
go
people
down
watching.
the South Channel, when you go down the South Channel, you go through
Oh, it's cool over there.
Muskemoo Bay. There's all these islands all over the place. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
see that shit anywhere.
That's
You
cool.
don't see.
Cool. But the Browns, you're not missing much.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, the one thing I've
it's
always,
just
I know, Tim, have you gotten your boat out in the water at all?
Not this year. No. I'm actually in the hunt for a center council. So to be determined. I don't think it's happening this year. So
Right. Because I was going to say, we should
Coming.
plan a day where we know the weather's going to be nice, and then Mike, you can come with me, Brock. Like it'll be like if Tammy wants to go. It can be Kendra, Tammy, you and me, and Brock. You can bring your group, and Tim, if the girls don't want to go, then you can jump in with me if you want, or and yeah, you want to get, because if you get rooming up there, I mean, his boat's monstrous compared to all of ours, but
Yeah, nice boat. It's a nice.
yeah, my boat's barely 20 feet. If it's even 20 feet, it might be 19. But it serves its purpose.
Sure.
It's I just love being on the water. I love being in the water.
yeah.
And it was great. The kids got me the face removed Bluetooth stereo for the boat, and it's nice just to sit out there and float and be able to listen to whatever you want and shoot the shit and have a good time. So
What about you, Tim? What's your favorite thing to do in the summer? Work your ass
Well,
off?
I work a lot of hours. Which
It's
sucks.
Poo-pooed.
What I don't mind doing is, a couple things. I like going. I would go fishing with Joe Pretzer a lot. We go get out in the river and do that. Funny story. We did that, quite a bit. Caught a lot of walleye, but you get out there. We took his son and his buddy with us, and we're fishing and doing whatever. And they're both looking at their phones, and you got 1,000-foot freighters going by. You could throw a rock at so close. I finally look at him. I look at Joe. Joe looks at me. Joe goes, "Tim, did your dad ever take you out fishing?" I said, "Hell no." He goes, "Mine neither." I look at the boys. Boys, put your fucking phones away. Look what's going by. I mean, a ship. Like they're beautiful. And
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, oh, like they take everything for granted, but for the most part, for me, for summer, I enjoy a pretty much traditional Friday night dinner. We try to go up in Marine City and spend our money in town, and then Saturdays hanging at the pool and on our new deck by our pool. That's about it. That's it may be boring, but that's what we like to do. So
if that's what you like to do, that's what you like to do. I mean,
yeah.
If you lived closer to the water, I bet you'd probably be on a boat too. But
yeah, I mean,
it's people's schedules.
That time's coming. We're gonna definitely make a move for a boat. We snowmobile quite a bit. We're gonna cut back on that. We don't know, but we'll see. But I'm very, very interested in buying a center console, 24, 26-foot center console. So we'll see.
24 is a perfect size. I mean,
yeah, you handle the weight a little bit. I can still go fishing on my own, or I can still do all that. So we'll look forward to it. We'll see what happens here. It'll be fun. You may never know, Brock. You might be sitting out on the sandbar one day, and here I come, anchoring up next to you. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Julie, look at the time. Hey, sorry, Tim, we gotta go.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Motherfucker just ran over my anchor line. We gotta go.
Yeah.
It's the only guy I know that I could be on a spring break vacation down in the middle of Georgia, in the middle of goddamn nowhere, and he comes pulling in the same parking lot as we're getting gas. That was unbelievable.
And my wife jumps out of the car, just fucking springs open the door, runs to get the hug from him. He gives the best hugs. Like,
That was so funny. Hey,
Or mine.
you know, hey, if you're gonna come on the show from time to time, you got to work on getting a better Wi-Fi.
All right.
Yeah, well,
All right, boys.
none of us heard from Rob at all, so I mean, I'm sure that I'm
Sure,
sure
Gator.
that I'm sure Gager's doing okay.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, so like I said, say a prayer for him today. I think he'll be
Yeah.
fine. Guys, hey, just wanted to remind everybody out there that we are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you want to give us a thumbs up, tell us how the show is. We'd appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, we got 91 subscribers right now. We'd love to get to that century mark. So love to see it join in.
Brent said he would go naked down Water
No.
Street if we get
We
100
did.
subscribers.
I heard
Not
it.
Yeah,
gonna-
Tim wrote it down,
Yep, not gonna do
Yeah.
it.
and we'll see what
And-
goes up his ass.
All my notes.
Right.
It's all my notes.
Yep. You guys are a bunch of tools. But again, hey guys, as a reminder, we're going to try to do a show. If Thursday works, Thursday's going to be. I had Jennifer on there, but her mom's at U of M hospital, so keep her in your prayers. We'll have them on the show soon. I did speak with Kathy and Jerry Salisbury, and they're interested in being on the show. So we'll see if we can get them on, and then maybe we can get some of the musicians that are going to be at the Battle of the Bands, because that's quickly approaching. And don't forget, this coming week in St. Clair is the powerboat races. So you know darn well that the Meldrum brothers, Paul and Oates, the Gobies, Alter Ego, all those guys are going to be playing. It's this upcoming weekend.
Wow.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's one of the premier powerboat races, in the circuit, they say, and it's covered by ESPN. So I thought that was kind of cool, and
It's cool.
And maybe we'll get a chance to go check out some of the guys, melt our faces off with some live music. I don't know what you guys are doing this upcoming weekend. If you guys want to meet up with the wives and girlfriends, whatever.
I got to work Sunday. That's the only thing I know.
All right, so that's all right. We can go Friday.
You're not gonna get poo-pooed?
Hammered.
Smoked.
Yeah. Cloud.
Loud.
All right, guys.
So, hey, stay safe, everybody. Stay safe on the roads, and we'll see you this Thursday on the Idiot Circle.
Peace.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Peace out, everyone.